أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة العالمين نبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد، what is the topic today? الدرس What do we study today? Is there any book we study today? Okay. One of the books, huh? Okay, what did we do last class? What did we do last class? المعرفة. نكرة. Okay, what is معرفة? What is نكرة? How would you define nakira? How would you define ma'rifa? ما هو المعرفة؟ كل اسم أنت تعرفين إيش؟ المعرفة ولا النكرة؟ معرفة. قولي المعرفة هي كل اسم هكذا. المعرفة هي كل اسم خص واحدا بعينه من جنسه. كل اسم خص واحدا بعينه من جنسه. والنكرة تنقسم المعرفة إلى 150 complete. Is it true? 150 قسما. تنقسم إلى كم؟ 5 أو 6؟ 5 أقسام. إلى 5 أقسام. الأول أسماء الأعلام. الثاني أسماء إيش؟ الأسماء هي أسماء المضمرة. It comes to me مضاعف مضارع أسماء المضمرة. الأسماء المضمرة. then أسماء الإشارة. الأسماء المعرفة بال. المضافة إلى تلك الأربعة المذكورة الآنفة الذكر. أوكي. ما هي أداة التعريف؟ إذا أردنا أن نعرف كبدا نقول إيش؟ الكبد. فأداة التعريف فيها ال أو اللام فقط؟ Is it ال أو اللام فقط؟ ال. عند البصريين ال يقولون ال، وعند الكوفيين وعند الماليزيين. I just want to wake you up. Okay. So we have the controversy between Basriyin and Kufiyin. ما هو الأولى؟ الأقوى؟ بصرة ولا الكوفة؟ بصرة. هل يوجد للخلاف فائدة؟ ما في فائدة. اوكي. فقد نتعلم انهم قالوا كذا وقيل كذا، قالوا كذا وقيل كذا. رياضة في الذهن. اوكي جيد. Which bomb we have here? No, it's not a problem. It's just too strong. That means technology is working here. Okay, so that was what we studied last week. So today, inshallah, we will go to the next chapter, which is Babish, Qismat al-Af'al. This subject, maybe it might take a little bit longer time from us. So I decided to go through the simple way first, and then we come back to the book. And then the book will go slowly, because the idea is not to finish the book, the idea is to understand the book. So inshallah, we will go slowly. You guys maintain patience. And I really appreciate your concern a lot. I was just told by fathers, some of them were concerned of us being late sometimes. When they make the adhan, we wait until they come, Allahu Akbar, then we start running. And I was waiting for this actually since long. It doesn't come. And I say, okay, maybe I don't need to talk, but since today it came, then it's a very good approach and reminder. May Allah SWT reward the sister who raised up this. But what I will say to you, this is how we learned. In the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, I can remember in the halakat, Sheikh Shankiti, Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Abad, normally we move from the place when the iqamah is made in. That's how it goes in. Because knowledge comes first. Even before the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, فَعَلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So usually they look at it, it's meant to be that we have only, twice in a week, right? Twice in a week, so it takes little amount of the time. So that's why maybe the scholars there, they just take it up to that moment. So it's a very good reminder. I appreciate it. May Allah SWT grant whoever raised it up with Jannah. But just understand the concept and the priority. That's the reason why we go for that. But inshallah, we will try to see how to modify it. But if need arise, we need to go up to the adhan, after the iqamah, then you just exercise patience and have in your mind that we are doing right, inshallah. You get the idea. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, what you will get for staying to get the knowledge, as long as you will go and catch up the prayer, is okay, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. It's okay, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah. So just a simple reminder to make sure that we understand the priority in the way we do things, inshallah. May Allah reward the sister with Jannah, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam.
Please speak a little bit loudly.
Oh, cannot come. Allahu musta'an. This one is like bomb. If I bring it next to me. Okay, thank you very much. How about now? Okay. Now even those will hear. Okay, so I was just reminding us about the issue of staying sometimes up to the moment of iqamah. This is how we learn in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. We always leave when the iqamah is made, with our own scholars. So it's extended because of the priority. Knowledge takes priority before anything else. So we are doing right, inshallah. I don't have any doubt in that. We are doing right, inshallah. And Allah SWT will compensate you. But we will try, inshallah, if there is no question, or there is nothing to take us up to that moment, to catch it before the iqamah, inshallah. But if we do go until the iqamah, don't worry at all. Bismillah, we're doing right, inshallah. Bismillah ta'ala. So as I said, may Allah SWT reward the sister who brought it in. And this is how it should be. Whenever you think there is something that we should apply in the class, you should come up and say it. Even if you think it will be rejected, just say it. Yeah. We will never reject it just because we want to reject. We will reject it like this. It's not actually rejection. Just we will explain the reason why we make it in that way, if it is wrong, because sometimes we might not see it, but you guys, you see. If it is wrong, when you remind us, then we will realize the mistake. Do you get it? So may Allah reward this sister, may Allah grant her firdaus for this, inshallah. Okay, so what I said is we're going to go, inshallah, slowly in this Bab al-Af'al. It's very important bab. I will read commentary given by Ibn al-Thamin. I think is a very good summary of the topic. For you to understand what we're going to do, then we will come back to the book to deal with its complication, inshallah. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Fatih, read.
قال المؤلف رحمه الله: باب قسمة الأفعال. وإن أردت قسمة الأفعال لينجلي عنك صدى الإشكال فهي ثلاث ما لهن رابع: ماض وفعل الأمر والمضارع. فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس فإنه ماض بغير لبس، وحكمه فتح الأخير منه كقولهم سار وبان عنه. والأمر مبني على السكون مثاله احذر صفقة المغبون. وإن تلاه ألف ولام فاكسر وقل ليقم الغلام. وإن أمرت من سعى ومن غدا فأسقط الحرف الأخير أبدا. تقول يا زيد اغد في يوم الأحد واسعى إلى الخيرات لقيت الرشد. وهكذا قولك فر من رمى فاحذ على ذلك فيما استبهم. والأمر من خاف خف العقاب ومن أجاد أجد الجواب. وإن يكن أمرك للمؤنث فقل لها خافي رجال العبث.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال المؤلف رحمه الله: باب النكرة والمعرفة. والاسم ضربان، فضرب النكرة والآخر المعرفة المشتهرة. فكل ما رب عليه تدخل فإنه منكر يا رجل. نحو غلام وكتاب وطبق كقولهم رب غلام لي أبق. وما عدا ذلك فهو معرفة لا يمتري فيه الصحيح المعرفة. مثاله الدار وزيد وأنا وذا وتلك والذي وذو الغنى. وآلة التعريف ألف من يريد تعريف كبد مبهم قال الكبد. وقال قوم إنها اللام فقط إذ ألف الوصل متى تدرج سقط. باب قسمة الأفعال. وإن أردت قسمة الأفعال لينجلي عنك صدى الإشكال فهي ثلاث ما لهن رابع: ماض وفعل الأمر والمضارع. فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس فإنه ماض بغير لبس، وحكمه فتح الأخير منه كقولهم سار وبان عنه. والأمر مبني على السكون مثال حذر صفقة المغبون. مثال حذر صفقة المغبون. وإن تلاه ألف ولام فاكسر وقل ليقم الغلام. وإن أمرت من سعى ومن غدا فأسقط الحرف الأخير أبدا. تقول يا زيد اغد في يوم الأحد واسعى إلى الخيرات لقيت الرشد. وهكذا قولك فر من رمى فاحذ على ذلك فيما استبهما. والأمر من خاف خف العقاب ومن أجاد أجد الجواب. وإن يكن أمرك للمؤنث فقل لها خافي رجال العبث. So this topic inshallah is going to deal with the af'al, which is the second pillar of al-kalam. Kalam has how many pillars? 3 pillars. Al-ism, wal-fi'l, wal-harf. تكلمنا عن الاسم والآن سنتكلم عن إيش؟ عن الفعل. نعم. قال: وإن أردت قسمة الأفعال لينجلي عنك صدى الإشكال فهي ثلاث ما لهن رابع: ماض وفعل الأمر والمضارع. Sheikh said, وإن أردت قسمة الأفعال. He said, if you want to understand something about the classifications of fi'l, If you want to understand something about the classification of fi'l, لِيَجَّلِ عَنْكَ صَدَى الْإِشْكَالِ, so that you will stay away from any confusion that can exist and arise in this regard. When you want to understand fi'l properly, and also to stay away from any doubt, from any kind of understanding that can arise in that issue. He says, فَهِيَ ثَلَاثٌ مَا لَهُنَّ رَابِعٌ. So basically he's telling you that whenever you want to understand something about the classification of fi'l, pay attention to what I'm going to say now. فَهِيَ ثَلَاثٌ مَا لَهُنَّ رَابِعٌ. There are three. There are only three classifications. مَا لَهُنَّ رَابِعٌ is a completion of the bait. There is no fourth among them. There are only three types of fi'l. They don't have number four. Only how many types? Three types. Based on the tenses, we have how many tenses? Three or four? Three. Either the past or the present. What else we have? The future, right? The past or the present or the future. So based on that, they extracted the types and the classifications of fi'l. قال الماضي, that's فعل الماضي. وفعل الأمر, that's فعل الأمر. والمضارع, that's فعل المضارع. How many types? Three. فعل الماضي, فعل الأمر, and فعل المضارع. فعل الماضي, فعل الأمر, فعل المضارع. وإن أردت قسمة الأفعال لينجلي عنك صدى الإشكال فهي ثلاث ما لهن رابع ماض وفعل الأمر وفعل الأمر والمضارع. So when you want to know about the classifications of fi'l, you should know that there are only three. So you shouldn't be in a state of confusion. There are only three. There is no number four. If somebody tells you there are four classifications, tell him we have only three in the Arabic language. Madin, that's fi'l al-madi. Fi'l al-amri, that's fi'l al-amr. Wal-mudari', that's fi'l al-mudari'. How many we have? Three. And that's fi'l al-amr or fi'l al-madi wal-mudari'. قال الشارح وهو المؤلف نفسه إنما انقسم الفعل ثلاثة أقسام لأن كل فعل يدل بصيغته على قسم من أقسام الزمان بعينه. He said the reason why we have three types of fi'l in the Lugha al-Arabiya, it is because every fi'l is addressing one of the types of the zaman. In the sun time, you have three types of zaman, right? Which is a time or the tense. So each and every one of those fi'l is addressing one of them. That's why they become three, because we only have three tenses. You get the idea? So since we have three in wujud, in existence, in every language we have only three. So this means also the af'al should be in accordance to that classification. So we have three tenses, therefore in Arabic also we have three types of af'al. Fi'l al-madi, dealing with the past tense. Fi'l al-mudari', dealing with the present and also the future sometimes, and fi'l al-amr, dealing with what? The future. It's always dealing with the future, because you are releasing a command asking somebody to do something. So get it right. You are asking somebody to do something. Fi'l al-amr has to be in the future at all. It cannot be in present, because it doesn't happen yet. The command has to come, so you're asking somebody to do something after the command. That's what future is all about. You get it? Even 1 second after the command is the future. Do you get the idea? So you're asking somebody to understand and to pay attention to what you're saying, so that he can bring something based on what you said. That's فعل الأمر. قال ولما كانت أقسام الزمان ثلاثة ماض وحاضر ومستقبل. He says, well, we have only three types of zaman. What are they? ماض وحاضر, حاضر, the present, right? ومستقبل, and also the future. He said we have only three types of zaman. انقسم الفعل أيضا إلى ثلاثة أقسام. So the fi'l also انقسم إلى ثلاثة أقسام. We have also three types of فعل. ماض يعتبر بأمس، وحاضر ويعتبر بالآن. When you say ماض, this is what you call أمسي. أمس. What is أمس? Yesterday. What is the difference between al-amsi and ams? Okay, nakira al-marifa. Good. Let's stick with this nakira al-marifa. I'm not looking for that. How do you differentiate between ams in terms of meaning? Is there any difference? Ams is yesterday. Bil-amsi or al-amsi? Is there any difference in meaning? What is ams? Yesterday. What is al-ams? Today. Okay. What is al-ams? Okay, just say we are not sure. That's the best way out, right? If you don't say I don't know, just say I'm not sure. Yeah. At least there's half knowledge is there. Some of the scholars mention that the difference between ams and al-ams and mu'arraf bil alif wal lam, the first one when you say ams, ra'aytuka ams, it means ams Saturday. Saturday, I mean the Saturday that passed yesterday. Yesterday means yesterday, the closest yesterday. Which one is that? Saturday. When you put alif wal lam, it can be yesterday and it can be 1,000 years ago. You understand? قال كما قتلت نفسا بالأمس. It has been a very long time they are looking for Musa, right? And he says you killed somebody بالأمس. Was he talking about yesterday? Not yesterday. Time passed, they have been searching and looking for Musa, they couldn't see him. Okay, you get it. The poet who was talking about Andalus, after we lost it, he said, Bil Amsi Kanu. Bil Amsi, was he saying the poetry right after the fall of Spain? No. It takes time for us. And then after the tragedy took place, then he wrote the thing. He says Bil Amsi. So that's the difference according to their mention. When they said Bil Amsi, they mention that it can mean anything. But when you mean yesterday, it's better for you to just say Ams. Yeah. But it's, as you said, one of them is Ma'arifa and the other one is Nakira. And also when you take it like that, when you say Amsi, it should be actually other way around. The Ams without Alif wal Lam take any day. But maybe that ta'arif, you are actually talking about a specific day that passed in the history. Although it is 1,000 years, but it is known to the people. Bil Ams means that Ams in the days where they are living in the state of prosperity before the defeated. Wallahu a'lam. Qala al-Madi. So Madi represent what? Ams. Please take note. Madi represent Ams. Mudara wa hadirun, this is a Mudara, represent Al-An. Madi is representing the word Ams, which is yesterday, the past. And Mudara, which is the Hadir, is representing Al-An, which is now. Wa Mustaqbal, this is what is representing the future, Ghadan. So you have Amsi, you have Al-An, and you have Ghadan. You have Amsi, you have Al-An, and you have the last one, Ghadan. Which one is for Mudari'? Al-An. Which one is for Madi? Amsi. Which one is for Amr? Ghadan, yeah. And then it can be also next time, right after I finish my statement. There is a line of poetry, Muhammad, I got for your job. There is a very excellent line of poetry that you will enjoy, memorize, and I will ask you about it, inshallah. It says, وَأَعْلَمُ مَا and so, Muhammad, pay attention. I want to test your memory. I will read it once, and you have to write it correctly. وَأَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْيَوْمِ وَالْأَمْسِ قَبْلَهُ ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي. He will make a mistake even in the first line. You see? I'm right, huh? What did I say? أعمل or أعلم? أعلم. Actually, the first word should be memorized properly. وأعلم ما في اليوم والأمس قبله ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي وأعلم ما في اليوم والأمس قبله. ولكنني come down half of the other one. أيوة, that's how we write poetry. ولكنني, very serious in life, he doesn't know how to sing poetry. ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي. عمي. Okay. You see, this bait, they usually mention it to explain what they call in Balagha hashu. Hashu is something that doesn't benefit, it has no meaning. You don't need to bring it in that place actually. It's just like for it to be there is useless. You get the idea? When you look at this line of poetry, where is the mahall al-shahid? وأعلم ما في اليوم والأمس قبله ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي. He says, I really know and I understand what is going on today. That's the reality and fact, right? Because I see it. وَالْأَمْسِ قَبْلَهُ, and what happened yesterday before today. He said, I know this and I know that. وَلَكِنَّنِي عَنْ عِلْمِ مَا فِي غَدٍ عَمِي. But when it comes to what will happen tomorrow, I'm a'ma. A'ma means blind. I don't know what will happen. That's true, right? In these two lines, there is something that we don't need it at all. What is that? Five seconds to think. وأعلم ما في اليوم والأمس قبله ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي. Did you get anything? Just make a try. I want somebody to try. Qablahu. Why qablahu is hashu?
Because
Al-Ams is already before. Yeah, that's why. That qablahu is hashu. He says, I know what happened today, what happens today, and also I know what happened yesterday, qablahu. Can yesterday be after today? No. That's why they call it hashu. This bait, they brought it to tell you that this is one of the statements that contain all kinds of the tenses. It has yaw. Which one is that? Hadir. That's mudari', right? And it has al-amsi. That's madi. And it has ghadan. That's what? Mustaqbali. You get the idea? So it's easy for somebody who came to this world and he never know that we have three tenses. Give him this bait, inshallah. So وأعلم ما في اليوم والأمس قبله ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي. So take note on that. قال وفعل الأمر من قبيل الأفعال المستقبلة لأن الأمر إنما يستدعى من المأمور أن يحدث الفعل. And this is what I said. He said فعل الأمر is also part of the الأفعال المستقبلة. أفعال المستقبلة, these are the future tenses. Something that you want it to take place, an action that you want it to take place in the future. And that's fi'l al-amr. Yeah, because you are asking somebody to do something. He's not doing it right now. You are asking him to produce something. So he said من قبيل الفعل المضارع. وأما الفعل المضارع فهو ما يحتمل الحال والاستقبال حتى يخلص لأحدهما بقرينة تقترن به. Please do pay attention on this thing. Yeah. He says, as for the fi'l al-mudara, he said fi'l al-mudara, فهو ما يحتمل الحال والمستقبل. So it can be a verb that is taking place right now. in the present time, present moment. And also it can be something that will take place in the future. You get the idea? Like Amr. It can happen now, it can be something that is taking place now, and it can also be something that is going to take place in the future. How do I know which one is intended? When a person speaks, he said we need something which is called qarina. Qarina is what they call it in the law, circumstantial evidence. It's a very, very, very strong and powerful tool, especially when it comes to judgment. You get it? A judge cannot survive without qara'in. It has to be there. The Prophet ﷺ used it. Not only the Prophet ﷺ, back there before the Prophet ﷺ, people have been using it. Sulaiman alayhi salam, when Dawood made a decision that the child should go to the youngest mother, to the oldest one, Sulaiman detests this judgment, and he decided to make his own judgment, looking at the qarina. And the qarina is based on the nature. That was what we was looking for, and he got it right when he told the sisters, I'm going to cut the baby into 2 pieces and give each and every one of you half of it. So the eldest she said yes, that's true, that should be done. You get the idea? And the youngest said no, I don't want that, let her go with him. From this, Suleiman understand that the child belongs to who? The youngest one, because mother can never accept. But the oldest one, she said, yeah, just cut into 2 pieces, give me half. Yeah, and let her take half, because she knows when somebody is cut into 2 pieces, what will happen? He will die immediately. Yeah. So she wants him also to die, just like the way she lost her child. Let this one also lose, but this is mother. She can never see her child being killed in. Nowadays they kill them by themselves. May Allah guide them. So that's qarina. He was using qarina to reach the conclusion. You get the idea? In the time of the Prophet ﷺ also they use it. So this is what we call qarina. Qarina in this is something that can guide you to understand that this statement, the intention in it is not what appears to you, it is something else. That's what is called qarina. What can guide you to an understanding? This is qarina. You have haqiqah, you have majaz in Arabic. I will ask you this question so that you will understand qarina properly. If I say to you, I saw by Allah, I said wallahi ra'aytu asadan, let's say on Friday, last Friday, when the Imam comes and he gives the khutbah, it was so powerful, I enjoyed so much, and then I say to you, you are not around. I went to you, then I told you, wallahi ra'aytu asadan yakhtubu. Ra'aytu asadan yakhtubu. Is that true? Asad means lion. I said, wallahi ra'aytu asadan yakhtubu. Asad is lion. And I'm trying to convince you that I saw Asad giving khutbah. Is that true? That's what? Lying. That's lying, right? If I say this and I believe in it, what am I doing? I'm trying to lie to you. Do you know that I'm lying? Yes, because lion cannot make khutbah. But normally if an Arab person, an Arab man or somebody who speaks Arabic talks to the people like this, what is the first thing that will come into their mind? Is it a real lion, or they will understand something else? Something else, a human being that has the qualities of lion, very strong, when it speaks, the speech is very powerful, it reaches the heart. You get the idea? How do I understand that the man is not intending a lion? Because of the word yakhtubu. That's what is called qarina. This is the guidance, the thing that guides me to understand that what he is trying to tell me is not an animal giving the khutbah, but it is a human being that has the quality, some of the qualities of a lion. Do you get the idea? This is what we call qarina. Do you understand it properly? This is what we call qarina. So he said when you have fi'l al-mudara, when they mention it in a word, sometimes it can be addressing hadir, this is the present, or sometimes it can be for future tense. But how do I know which one is intended? He said we look for the qarina. You get the idea? قال حتى يخلص لأحدهما بقرينة تقترن به فإذا قلت زيد يصلي. When you say زيد يصلي, Ahmad, you don't wait until I say right. When I give example, just right. فإذا قلت زيد يصلي، إذا قلت زيد يصلي ما معنى هذا؟ يصلي متى؟ هل صلى؟ لا. هل هو يصلي الآن؟ محتمل. هل يعني كلامي أنه سيصلي في المستقبل؟ محتمل كمان. إذا قلت محمد يصلي يعني أنه من الذين يصلون لله، إذا جاء العصر سيصلي كذلك يعني. Do you get the idea? So it can address the present and the current moment, and also it can address the future moment also. So when I say to you زيد يصلي احتمل كلامك أن يكون في حالة الصلاة. That's what you say. So your word can mean that you're saying this because Zayd is right now praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أين محمد؟ يصلي. إيش يعني؟ يصلي الآن. احتمل كلامك أن يكون في حالة الصلاة أو يكون يصلي فيما بعد. Like I said, or you're talking about the nature of Muhammad and his attitude, that he is a very good Muslim who prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every time. So not necessarily that he is praying right now, but he is going to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Maghrib and Isha and Fajr and everything. فإذا أدخلت على الفعل سوف. When I say to you زيد سوف يصلي أو السين سيصلي خلصته للاستقبال. Do you get a difference? When I say to you زيد يصلي, it can be for this and it can be for that. But when I add to it سين and سوف, هذه من خصائص المضارع, right? It doesn't go with ماضي. Can I say سوف صلى? It doesn't go. It doesn't go with ماضي. If you can remember, this is سين وسوف من خصائص الفعل المضارع. قال إذا قلت زيد سوف يصلي خلصته ليش؟ للماضي؟ لا. للحاضر؟ لا. للمستقبل، يعني سيصلي في المستقبل. لا يصلي الآن وليس هو في حالة الصلاة الآن، لكنه سيصلي في المستقبل. وإن أدخلت عليه اللام المفتوحة أو قرنته بالآن خلصته للحال، وهذا أحد الوجوه التي سمي بها هذا الفعل مضارعا. He said وإذا أدخلت عليه اللام المفتوحة, when you have يصلي, when you put lam المفتوحة لا يصلي خلصته ليش؟ المستقبل. ما المعنى المتبادل للذهن؟ when I say to you زيد لا يصلي, يصلي الآن أو سيصلي في المستقبل؟ يصلي الآن. قال وإذا أدخلت عليه اللام أو قرنته بلفظ الآن يصلي، لا يصلي الآن يصلي، يعني إيش؟ هو متلبس بالصلاة الآن يصلي، يعني يصلي في الحاضر. So what Sheikh was intending to tell you is فعل المضارع, I'm sorry, whenever you see it, it can address the present tense and it can also address the future tense. How do I know that this is for one of them? When there is a karina to specify one of them. Like when I say سوف يصلي, I'm talking about مستقبل. If I say لا يصلي أو الآن يصلي, I'm talking about what? الحاضر. How do I know that it is for حاضر and that one is for مستقبل? Because of the karina. Because of the karina. What is the karina in the first one? سوف and the seed. What is the karina in the second one? Lam and also the word الآن. Do you get the idea? وإلا الماضي يحتمل الحاضر والمستقبل. If I say إن محمدا يصلي, Muhammad prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't mean that he is praying right now. It might be that I'm talking about him praying right now, and it can also be that I'm talking about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam being a person of good manners, that he prays to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly. You get the idea? In the future, now, and every time whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invites him, he goes to the masjid. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. This mudari, al-fi'l al-mudara, why is it called mudara? Why do we call it mudara? Why is it called mudara? ما معنى المضارعة؟ المضارعة تعني ايش؟ المشابهة. ضارعه أي شابهه، ضارعه أي يشبهه يشابهه. قال سمي بها هذا الفعل مضارعا، ومعنى المضارع المشابهة، فكأنه شابه الاسم من حيث إنه يصلح للشيئين. So please pay attention to this. So mushabaha, yushabihu ish. When you have a tashabuh, that means there are two different things you're comparing, that looks like each other. So yushabihu al-isma, yushbihu al-ism. من أي ناحية؟ من حيث إنه يصلح للشيئين. So it looks like ism because it can be applicable for two things. It can be applied for two things. How is that? قال حتى يخصص لأحدهما بقرينة. Just like the way name also can be addressing two things, unless if you specify one of them. Mudari also is like that. You get to the explanation we gave. When you say yusalli, it can address hadir and it can address also mustaqbal. If you want hadir, then you put al-ana, you put lam, or you put anything that can let the mukhatab to understand hadir. If you want mustaqbal, you put anything that can let the mukhatab, mukhatab, right, the second person you're speaking to understand mustaqbal. So name also is like this. He's going to give you an example. It says, since name is like that, something that has this nature, mudara also, it has this nature, then mudara is called by the Arabs mudara because it looks like a name in terms of this set nature. To be addressing two things, to contain two things. If you mean one of them, you have to bring something to specify one of them. قال من حيث إنه يصلح للشيئين حتى يخصص لأحدهما بقرينة كما أن رجلا يصلح لأكثر من واحد. Just like when you say رجل, رأيت رجلا. Who? Which رجل? Which رجل are you talking about? رأيت رجلا, I saw a man. Which man? الله أعلم. رأيت إنسانا, which إنسان? الله أعلم. رأيت كلبا, which كلب? الله أعلم. كما أن رجلا يصلح لأكثر من واحد فإذا أدخلت عليه آلة التعريف خصصته بشخص معين. He says when you put al-alif wal-lam, you specify the person that you're talking about. إنا أرسلنا إليكم رسولا شاهدا عليكم كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا. رسولا, which Rasul? Any Rasul, right? But when you say فَعَصَى فِرْعَوْنُ الرَّسُولَ, you're talking about which Rasul? That Rasul that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to Fir'aun la'natullahi alayhi. فَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ الْأَلِفُ وَاللَّامَ, this is آلة التعريف, right? When you connect to it al, then it will become ma'rifa, something that is specific instead of being general. So fi'l al-mudari is also a general, can have different meaning, but when you connect it with a qarina, then it will specify one of those meaning that can be possibly included in it. Is that clear? Is that clear? I will repeat. They said the reason why al-mudara is called mudara is because it looks like name. Because it looks like name. In what sense mudara is looking like a name? They say because a name, when it is nakira, can include everything that has the same nature. Mudari also, when you say it, anything that has the same nature can be included. And we're talking about two things here, either hadir or mustaqbal. This is one of the wujuh to explain the reason why it is called mudara. It can be hadir and it can be mustaqbal. When you want to specify one of them, you have to bring qarina to tell the listener that you're talking about one of them. There shouldn't be any ishkal, because let him understand whatever he understands. Because when I say Muhammad yusalli, when he understands as Muhammad, it is part of his nature to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It also means he prays right now. You get it? You get it? So that prayer that we had last time, Dhuhr, he prayed it also. And he's going to pray Asr, he's going to pray Maghrib and Isha and all those prayers. When you say Muhammad yusalli, if the understanding is right now he is praying, it doesn't mean he will not pray in the future. But this is for the sake of understanding and the meaning. You get it? So nobody can come and say yusalli without having any qarina and charge the listener that he has to understand only hadir. The word can have other meaning also included in it. You get it? When you use mudari mujarrad, this is what it means. It can be hadir, it can be also mustaqbal. You get the idea? So it's not definite. When you want to make it a specific, then you have to bring what? Qarina. What is qarina? Any evidence that can lead you to a specific meaning in the sense of the fi'l you are using. That's clear. So that's just an introduction by the Shaykh. He says, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتَ قِسْمَةَ الْأَفْعَالِ لِيَنْجَلِي عَنْكَ صَدَى الْإِشْكَالِ فَهِيَ ثَلَاثٌ مَا لَهُنَّ رَابِعُ مَاضٍ وَفِعْلُ الْأَمْرِ وَالْمُضَارِعُ. So he said, whenever you want to know how many types of fi'l we have, there are only 3. So don't be in a state of confusion. This is لِيَنْجَلِي عَنْكَ صَدَى الْإِشْكَالِ. Don't you ever be in a state of confusion. There are only 3 types of fi'l. قال فهي ثلاث ما لهن رابع. There are only 3 types. ما لهن رابع means they don't have number 4. The 4th one does not exist yet. ماض وفعل الأمر والمضارع. We have فعل الماضي, we have فعل الأمر, and we have فعل المضارع. How many tenses? We have 3 tenses. These are only things we have. So he gave us the introduction that the reason why they are we have only 3, it is because al-fi'lu is dealing with zaman. Fi'l is dealing with zaman. That's why it becomes different from ism. Ism is away from any zaman. Muhammad. When is he Muhammad? It doesn't address any zaman, right? Hind, Kareem, Karima. This is all like that. So fi'l is dealing with azman, zaman. That's why they call it has those 3 classification. Madi, addressing the past. Mudari, addressing the future and the present. And amr, addressing only the future. Do you get the idea? So we have fi'l al-madi, we have fi'l al-mudari, and we have fi'l al-amr. So as I said, inshallah, what I will do is I will read the same chapter to you from Shaykh, inshallah, so that you have the clear understanding. Then I will go back to the book. I'm afraid if I go to the book, maybe you might be in a state of loss, inshallah. So just pay attention and take note. قال أحكام الفعل. We have 3 types of fi'l, right? Which one? What are they? مضارع, ماضي, and فعل الأمر. قال فالماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. الماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. الماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. الماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. قال فالماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. So فعل الماضي is always مفتوح. The last part of it has to be مفتوح. Has to be مفتوح. مفتوح الآخر أبدا. In the book Mulhatul I'rab, what did he say to address this? قال فكل ما يصلح فيه أمسي فإنه ماض بغير لبس. Anything that is appropriate, any fi'l that is appropriate for you to connect ams with it. Ams is for yesterday, right? Whatsoever can accept being connected to the word أمس فإنه ماضٍ. This is what the scholars call فعل الماضي. What is the علامة for فعل الماضي؟ قبوله لكلمة أمس. فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس فإنه ماضٍ بغير لفظ. Then he says وحكمه فتح الأخير منه. This is the thing we write here, right? الماضي مفتوح أبدا مفتوح الأخير أو آخر أبدا. So back to what Sheikh said, فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس. Whatsoever can accept to go with the word أمس. So أمس is the علامة for فعل الماضي. قبول كلمة أمس is the علامة for فعل ماضي. قال فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس فإنه ماض بغير لبس. This is فعل الماضي without any confusion. Do you get the idea? فاعتبر الفعل الماضي بدخول أمس عليه مضطرد ما لم يدخل عليه حرف الشرط. Ready? He said فعل الماضي is any verb, any فعل that can accept أمس as long as the harf of shart is not connected to it. Muhammad, have a مثال like this. خرج زيد. أمس. خرج زيد أمس. The sentence, is it okay? خرج زيد أمس. Is that okay? Yes. What does that mean? He went out when? Yesterday. بالأمس خرج زيد. خرج زيد أمس. Is that okay? Okay. قال فكل ما يصلح فيه أمس فإنه ماض بغير لبس. ضربت زيدا أمس. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. أمس. So you can see here, it is okay to have in a sentence which contains madi the word amsi. Is it okay for me to say kharaja zaydun ghadan? Zayd went out tomorrow. It doesn't work, right? I cannot say kharaja zaydun ghadan. So you see, it goes with amsi. That means it is what? Madi. He said this one is muttarid. Muttarid means is too general to include everything without exception except what is going to be mentioned. When they say qaida muttarida means it includes anything of it that of its nature. Whatsoever has the same nature, the formula, the maxim is going to include those things in. That's what they call ittirad in usul. When they say qaida muttarida means most likely there is no exception to it. So he said this one is muttarid. That means it's too general to include every fi'l that accept amsi. Every fi'l that accept to go with amsi, it is what? It is madi. Except in one case. In this case, when we have harfu shart entering, interfering, going in the sentence, then it will make it something else. Harfu shart, the word in. Right in Muhammad. The same example. In kharaja zaydun amsi. Is that okay? How can I say in if Zayd went out yesterday? Can, but it's too far. Can, sometimes we talk like that. If he was the one who went out yesterday. But here Arabs didn't talk like this. This is what is called حرف الشرط. وحرف الشرط دائما يدل على المستقبل. أنت تشترط إيش؟ إذا فعل كذا فلك كذا. يعني تحتاج إلى جزاء والجزاء يأتي في المستقبل. Do you get idea? Harf al-shart, shart means a condition. You are saying of condition. Condition, where do you gain the result of the condition? In the past or in the future? In the future. So when you have the interference of what do you call harf al-shart in the sentence that you have as a verb that always mean madi because it can be connected with the word amsi, then this meaning of madi is taken away to what? To something else. So originally it is too general. Whatsoever can accept amsi is madi. That's qaida muttarida. It is too general. It includes any fi'l, any sentence, any fi'l that comes which can accept amsi. It is what? It is madi, except when you connect to that sentence harfu shart, like what? Like the in. When you say in kharaja zaydun gadan, in kharaja zaydun gadan, in kharaja zaydun gadan, in kharaja zaydun gadan kharajtu. If Zayd go out tomorrow, I will also go. Is that a good sentence? Yes. But this fi'l, honestly speaking, is it madi? Madi by nature, but it has which meaning? The meaning of mudara. Why do we understand mudara? The meaning of mudara, the future, is because of the word, the harf in ash-shart. So I will repeat, inshallah. Don't go far, it's very easy. Madi is any fi'l that accept to go with what? Ams. Madi is any fi'l that accept to go with ams. Is that clear? Yeah, like kharajtu amsi, darabtu amsi, dhahabtu amsi, katabtu amsi, qara'tu amsi. Is that clear? So it goes like that. Any fi'l that can accept the word amsi is madi. As long as we don't have the word inna, the letter inna, which is harfu shart, being connected or attached in that sentence, then it will take it from madi to mustaqbal, because shart always go with mustaqbalin. It always goes with mustaqbal because it needs result. What is the result of the shart? It is going to take place after the mashrut happened, right? In kharaja zaydun kharajtu. If Zayd goes out, I will go out also. When? In the future. If he goes out, gadan. In kharaja zaydun gadan. In kharaja zaydun ba'da yawmin. In kharaja zaydun ba'da sana. In kharaja zaydun ba'd. You understand? In rabiha fulan fi tijaratihi rabihtu. Do you get the idea? Do you get it? So it is always muttarid, that whenever you have a word that goes with amsi, it is going to become how? Fi'l madi. Yeah. So this is the qaida in it. Whatever fi'l can go with amsi, it is fi'l madi. As long as it is not connected with what? In ash-shartiyah. In ash-shartiyah. What is the name of the harf? In ash-shartiyah. Shart means condition. Shart means conditioning. فقال وحكمه فتح الأخير منه كقولهم سار وبان عنه. He said, and the hukum for fi'l al-madi is it has to be always maftuh al-akhir. Maftuh al-akhir means the last letter in fi'l al-madi has to be fatha. The last letter in fi'l al-madi has to be fatha. Is that easy? Inshallah. The last letter in fi'l al-madi has to be fatha. قال فالماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. مفتوح الآخر أبدا. So the madi is always مفتوح الآخر. It has to be like that. قال لا يمكن أن يقع إلا مفتوحا ولهذا سميناه مبنيا. So هو مبني على الفتح. This is the word, these are the word. Fatha is part of the building of the word. And please do pay attention to this. When we say mabni means it is part of the building of the word. This is how the word is created. Madi has to be like that, maftuh. It cannot be something else unless if there is something to take it to something else which we don't have option except to go like that. But originally fi'l al-madi, when you want to construct it, it has to be maftuh. This is how the Arab speak. Is that clear? So madi is always what? Maftuh. Madi, which one is madi? The fi'l al-mustaqbal and the fi'l al-madi, the past tense. So whenever you see it, it has to be what? Maftuh. It is mabni ala ish, mabni ala al-fath. It is built upon fatha. That means it remains like that. It will never change unless if we find that we have no way to keep it like that. It has to change, then we change it to something else. We're going to see that inshallah. قال فالماضي دائما مبني على الفتح سمي مبنيا لأنه لا يتغير. So it is called mabni because it doesn't accept change. So you're going to see this mabni. When they say mabni, they're talking about what? Something that doesn't accept change. Just like that. Very arrogant, huh? It doesn't change. It is like that always. كما لو بنيت على الأرض بناء ثبت. If you have a building on the face of the earth, usually it remains like that. Right? It will never move from place to place. فالماضي مبني على الفتح دائما. So the foundation of madi is what? Fatha. So it will be like that. وظاهر كلام المؤلف أنه مبني على الفتح مطلقا وإن اتصلت به واو الجماعة. Because the scholar said وحكمه فتح الأخير منه. And صاحب الآج الرمية says الماضي مفتوح الآخر, not آخر is آخر, there is one love mad there. مفتوح الآخر أبدا. So it means that it has to be maftuh always, forever. It can never change. This is what we understand from the zahir of the word. When he says مفتوح الآخر أبدا يعني أنه لا يتغير أبدا مهما كانت الظروف فهو سيبقى أو فهو باق على هيئته الأولى وهي إيش؟ البناء على الفتح. مهما تغير الزمان والحال فهو باق على هيئته الأولى ولا يتغير إلى عن ما بني عليه فسيبقى على البناء. So it remains like that. This is what we understand from the word مبنين مفتوح الآخر أبدا. لكن قال الشيخ رحمه الله وظاهر كلام المؤلف أنه مبني على الفتح مطلقا وإن اتصل به واو الجماعة. He said it looks like, or we understand from the statement of Sheikh that it has to be like that forever. It will never change. Even when it is connected with waw al-jama'a. Waw al-jama'a, which one is waw al-jama'a? The waw that indicates a group of people. Jama'a in Arabic starts from 2 or 3? 2 or 3? 3. Sure. Okay. You come to the masjid. You went to pray, and another sister came and prayed with you. Only you and her. And somebody asked you, did you pray? Yes. They will say, هل صليت جماعة؟ وأنت ستقول إيش؟ نعم جماعة. And how many people we had? Only 2. So what happened to the Jama'ah has to be 3. And in Faraid, Ashabul al-Faraid, in Faraid, the Jama'ah starts from 10 or 2. It starts from 2. It doesn't start from, so it's not always, but generally when you speak in Arabic, when you talk about Jama'ah, in the language in Arabic, when you talk about Jama'ah, it is always from 3 and above. Cannot be from 2. But in Sharia has its own definition, right? Haqiqa Sharia. When Sharia called Jama'ah, we're talking about 2 people. But even in most of the application of Sharia, when Sharia talks about Jama'ah, is 3. Yeah, it's 3. But there are some exceptions, like the issue of Faraid, which is also a controversial issue among some scholars. They don't agree. They said Jama'ah in Faraid also has to be 3 and above. You get the idea. But in the prayer, to my knowledge, I don't know anyone who says that when you pray you and another person, it is not a Jama'ah, it is Jama'ah. So when you say waw al-Jama'ah, this is the waw that indicates Jama'ah, group of people starting from 3 and above. Since we're talking about language, so we go with the norm. What is the norm? 3 and above. So starting from the 3 and above. قال واو الجماعة. And that's the waw. When they put it, how did you write it, Muhammad? because there is a confusion here. Sometimes you have two types of waw. Write waw al-jama'ah for me. And the other waw that is not for jama'ah. Which one is for jama'ah? Okay, that one is for jama'ah. And the other one? For only one. Sorry. Which one do you choose for jama'ah? When they intend jama'ah, how they... Okay, write the word qalu. Okay, mashallah. Write the word law. Okay, what else? Give me. لا خرجوا قالوا also can خرجوا. Okay, right, خرجوا. That is another one which. Yarju. Okay, I don't want law. That's what I was looking for. Yarju. Remove that. Yarju. Which one is for jama'ah and which one is for individual? Kharaju is for jama'ah, right? Qalu is for jama'ah. Yarju. Mufrad. How do you know that this one is for jama'ah and this one is for Rajai? Okay. Can I say yarju for jama'ah? Tarju al-jama'atu. Tarju al-jama'atu. Can also. Okay, let me stop playing the game. What I want here is, normally when they write it, when they intend the jama'ah, they write alif in front. Muhammad, put the alif for qalu. Not only the meaning, even also the way they write it, they write alif in front. That's jama'ah. When they want the one without jama'ah, you will never see yarju with waw, with alif in front of it. You get the idea. So that's waw al-jama'ah. So he says, وَظَاهِرُ كَلَامِ الْمُؤَلِّفِ Madi is supposed to be maftuh every time, even if it is connected with waw al-jama'ah. Do you get it? Even if when it is connected with waw al-jama'ah, it has to remain like that. This is what we understand from his statement, al-madi maftuh al-akhiri abadan. When he says abadan, always, it will never change. That is what it means. قال ظاهر كلام المؤلف أنه مبني على الفتح مطلقا وإن اتصل به واو الجماعة أو ضمير الفاعل. Or even sometimes when the ضمير الفاعل is connected to it, فعلت كتبت, it has to remain مفتوح according to the statement. But is that true? No. When it is connected with واو الجماعة, it changes. It doesn't go with fatha. Something else take place in. قال أو ضمير الفاعل تقول ضربوا. Muhammad, write ضرب first. ضرب هو ماض أو مضارع؟ ماض, right. يصلح فيه, هل يصلح فيه أمسي؟ نعم. ضرب ماض. When I say ضربوا, is this still madi? Yes. But now it is connected with waw al-jama'ah. Which one is the last letter for daraba? Ba. Waw zaida, it is not part of the word originally. Part of the word is dad. The letters of the word are dad, ra, and ba. You get the idea. So ba, he says حكمه فتح الأخير منه. The hukm for madi, it has to be maftuh abadan, forever. Every time it has to be maftuh. That's what he says. And also in Ajurumiyah he says والماضي مفتوح الآخر أبدا. He says al-madi, it has to be maftuh forever. So Sheikh said, let us see if this is true, that it has to be maftuh forever, even if it is connected with waw al-jama'ah or connected with what? Dhamir al-fa'il. Dhamir al-fa'il. Fa'il means the one who is doing the action. Dhamir, this is the ta, fa'altu, katabtu. Now, even if it is connected with the dhamir al-fa'il, it should remain according to the text maftuh. So how do I say darab? I went madi for the jama'ah. Group of people, they beat Muhammad. That's nice, huh? So group of people, they beat Muhammad. How can I say this expression using the word daraba? مبني الآخر مبني على الفتح. Darab. How do I pronounce it? No, don't say darabu. Darabu is the correct one. Sheikh said, let us just close our eyes that we don't know anything except what Sheikh mentioned. Sheikh said, حكمه فتح الأخير منه. It has to be maftuh forever. So when you see daraba, Ahmad, in those days they don't put shakl, so remove them. From now onward, then put the sign. Let us train ourselves to read without sign. Okay, darab, darabawi. Oh, darabawu. The Arabs, do they say like this? Darabawu. Okay. So that's what Sheikh was trying to let you understand. He says, what we understand from the word of mu'allif, it is how you pronounce it, that you should say darabawu, just like that. Darabawu. وَالْفَتْحَةُ لَا تُنَاسِبُ فِي الْغَالِبِ الْوَاوِ. You have the three signs, right? Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. Which one goes with Kasra? Yeah. Which one goes with Fatha? Alif. Which one goes with Dhamma? Wow. These are the Arabs. So sometimes the word is supposed to be like this, but for the case of simplicity, issue of simplicity, to make it easy for the tongue to pronounce it, they go with the sign. They change the nature of it. It's supposed to be Fatha, but they make it Dhamma to make it easy to be pronounced. Qalish, Darabu. This is how we pronounce. So now the Fatha changes to what? Dhamma, because of the waw al-jama'ah. So don't go next time and tell somebody that no, Sheikh said hukmuhu fatul akhiri minhu. So when he said darab, we said no, that's wrong. Madi has to be maftuh. It doesn't work like that. When it is connected with waw al-jama'ah, it goes with the waw al-jama'ah. That means it becomes madmub. You get the idea? So you say taqul ish darabu. What taqul ish fi dhamir al-fa'il? Darabtu. Katabtu. Which letter is the last part of the daraba? Ba, right. Here the ba, is it maftuha? No. Sakina. Why sukun? Because of the ta'ul fa'il. Katabtu. If you want to go with the statement of Sheikh, katabatu. Do they speak like that? Yeah, katabatu. The rakik, right? So he says when it is connected with waw al-jama'ah, and also it is connected with what? With ta'ul al-fa'il, the hukum changes from fatha to something else. If it is waw al-jama'ah, we go for dhamma. If it is the dhamir al-fa'il, we go for what? For what is appropriate. And normally is السكون. قال ظاهر كلام المؤلف أن ضرب مبني على الفتح فتقول على كلام المؤلف ضرب فعل ماض. ضرب مبني على الفتح، تقول فعل ماض مبني على فتح مقدر على آخره منع من ظهور اشتغال المحل بحركة المناسبة. That's no harsh. They would never make a mistake. He's still sticking with his own statement. حكمه فتح الأخير منه. You get it? So he says, حكم فتح الأخير منه. Sheikh said, so how do we make the i'rab for darabu? He said, according to the statement of the Sheikh, حكمه فتح الأخير منه, and also Ajr Rumiyah that says Al-Madi Maftuhul Akhiri Abadan. According to this, when I do the i'rab for darabu, I say daraba fi'lu madin mabni ala al-fathi. I still mention the fatha. مبني على الفتح مبني على فتح مقدر على آخره. فتح مقدر, which you assume the existence of the fatha, although it is not there, but we assume it is there. Taqdeer means to just assume. Just imagine there's the fatha is there. So he says when you do i'rab, when they ask you a'rif hadhihi kalima, inshallah in the future we're going to do it in the class. He says when somebody asks you do the i'rab for darabu, you say what? ضربوا فعل ماض مبني على الفتح مبني على فتح مقدر على آخره منع من ظهورها أو منع من ظهوره أي الفتح, the thing that prevented it and stopped it from appearing. It is supposed to appear, right? ضربوا, like she said. We're supposed to say like this, but we can't because it doesn't go with wow. Do you get it? He says منع من ظهورها اشتغال المحل بحركة المناسبة, because the place, the position, that last part of the word is busy with its connection with what? Waw al-Jama'ah. And Waw al-Jama'ah doesn't go with fatha. You get the idea? So it is busy trying to fix the issue. This guy is supposed not to be here, but it came. So busy to accommodate the new visitor. In the sense, that's the reason why it doesn't have time to fix the fatha and to show the fatha. So you keep it like that. You get the idea? So when you do the i'rab, this is how you will say ضربوا ضرب فعل ماض مبني على الفتح. فعل ماض is ماضي. It is مبني على الفتح, which is built upon fatha. Originally we say like that, right? The origin of madi is what? Fatha. The foundation of madi is what? Fatha. So it is also like this, but the reason why we couldn't see the fatha on top of it, it is because the last part of the word is busy with something else, which need a sign that is appropriate to it. It is busy with what? Waw al-Jama'ah. And once we have Waw al-Jama'ah, we need to look for a sign that looks like wow. What is that? Dhamma. That goes with wow. Dhamma. That is easy to be pronounced when it is connected with wow. And that's Dhamma. That's the reason why Fatha doesn't come in. Is that clear? Is that clear? So ala hada, we say that the qaida that he mentioned, it is still muttarida. وحكمه فتح الأخير منه. وحكمه فتح الأخير منه. The hukum for Madi is to have the last part of it maftuh. Even when it is connected with something else, we still say in the i'rab it is maftuh. But the reason why the fatha doesn't come out, because of the connection. Do you get the idea? It was supposed to be there, but something come and stop it from existing, but it is there hidden somewhere around. Is that clear? Sure. Inshallah. Inshallah it will be more clear. قال ضربت ضربوا قال ضرب فعل ماض مبني على الفتح على فتح مقدر منع من ظهوره اشتغال المحل بحركة المناسبة. إذن على كلام المؤلف يكون الفتح مقدرا. That's what we said. ضربت فعل ماض مبني على الفتح على فتح مقدر على آخره منع من ظهوره المناسبة. And likewise also when it comes to ضربت. The other word ضربت, this is what you will say. مبني على الفتح على فتح مقدر منع من ظهوره اشتغال المحل بالمناسبة. ولكن بعض العلماء قال هو مبني على الفتح ويستثنى منه مسألتان. Okay, that's one approach. Maybe the second approach is much easier, but for the sake of knowledge we have to learn both. Just like in the inheritance, which one is the best approach? The one that says the grandfather or the siblings inherit along with the grandfather, or the one that says they cannot inherit along with the grandfather? Do you even know what I'm talking about? These guys knows. Allah guide them. For stopping my Faraid class. We're almost done and then they die. In inheritance, you have the siblings. Who are the siblings? Ikhwa, right? Your brothers. How many types of siblings we have? I'm not talking about names. I'm not talking about size or colors. How many types we have? 3. Either both you came from the same father and mother, or you came from mother but father different, or from father but mothers are different, right? These are the 3 types of siblings we have in inheritance. If there is a father, no siblings, the father for the deceased, no siblings will inherit at all. They are all what? Kick out. Right, Muhammad? We send them out. They will never inherit. And then all of the scholars, without exception, they say grandfather, who is the father's father, not father's mother, the father of the father. The father of the mother doesn't inherit, but the father of the father inherits. The father of the mother doesn't inherit in this case. In this case, he inherits in some other cases. So this grandfather is replacing the father of the deceased if the father is absent. So all of the scholars agree. And they also agree that if father is around, the siblings will never inherit. Whenever you replace somebody, you take the same privileges. But why do they make difference here? The majority of the scholars said, no, grandfather will never stop and exclude the siblings from inheritance. Although we agree he is replacing the father, but he doesn't have the power to remove them from inheritance. Actually, according to the agreement, he was supposed to do that. Because the father does that, he's replacing the father, he would take the same authority. He was supposed to be kicked out. Do you get the idea? But they said, no, they will inherit all together, all of them. Why did they say that? Because they said they are having the same level with the grandfather. The grandfather is connected to the deceased through who? The father. And the siblings, the brothers and sisters, they are connected to the deceased through who? The father. So it's like the level is the same thing. So they have the same power. That's why Shafi'iyya and Malikiyya and many other scholars, they said they will inherit all together. They brought a very complicated way that Muhammad is still having confusion to get it properly. You get the idea? But the question is, we do believe in the opinion that says they don't inherit with him. That's much easier. You finish settling the case in 1 second. But if you go to the other solution, which is very complicated, you spend days trying to learn and understand what does that mean. You get the idea. But still, the scholar said, as a student of knowledge, you have to learn both. Why do I bring this issue? You, as a student of knowledge, don't you ever say that this issue has no benefit. No, study it. Even if it is not the correct opinion, study it and understand what it means and how it is that, because you are going to face the situation in the future. If you don't understand it properly, you will never know how to deal with it. Do you get the idea? Do you get the idea? So that was the first approach. I just let me make you interested in Faraid. Inshallah, one day we will reach Faraid in the Matna Bishuja, inshallah. And I hope you will not run. Yeah, inshallah. And so he says this is the first approach. The first approach is to believe that the fatha is there. Is that clear? The first approach in fi'l al-madi, when it is connected with ta'ul al-fa'il, damir al-fa'il, and also it is connected with the waw al-jama'ah, is to believe that the fatha is still there, but it is hidden somewhere around, so we don't expose it because of the connection. In the sun, because of what? The connection. But when we do the i'rab, how do we say? We say daraba fi'l madin mabnin ala al-fath al-muqaddar mana'a min dhuhurihi ishtighal al-mahall bi al-munasaba. Do you get the idea? Mabnin ala al-fath, it is built upon fatha, but the reason why it doesn't appear, it is because of the connection. It is busy with the connection, that's why we couldn't see the fatha, but it is there, hidden. This is one approach. The second approach says, no, we don't say this. This one is much easier. They said, no, we don't say this. We go with the mu'allif. وَحُكْمُهُ فَتْحُ الْأَخِيرِ مِنْهُ. We go with the mu'allif, we say what? مَبْنِينَ عَلَى الْفَتْحِ. فِعْلُ الْمَاضِي is always مَبْنِينَ عَلى الْفَتْحِ. It can never change. It is مَبْنِينَ عَلى الْفَتْحِ. But you see, in every legal maxims and formula, every legal maxim and formula, there is an exception. Everything that you see in this life has an exception, right? They make a joke also in this. They said even the word itself, everything has exception. This one also has an exception. You get what I'm talking about? Every legal maxim has an exception. Any general ruling has an exception. Anything that is considered to be general has an exception. This word, every general, has an exception. This one also has exception. Because they said, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. This is too general. Which exception you have here? No exception, right? But this is the general ruling. Whenever you see a general, sometimes or generally you're going to see an exception. So he said, we go with the mu'allif when he says, حُكْمُهُ فَتْحُ الْأَخِيرِ مِنْهُ. It has to be maftuh all the time, but there are two exceptions. That's much easier, right? So we go with the fatha, but we say there are two exceptions. When somebody says, no, you are wrong because there is darabu, it is not maftuh. You tell him, no, this is an exception. You get idea? You tell him this is an exception. This is nadir. وَالنَّادِرُ لَا حُكْمَ لَهُ. This is an exception. قال ولكن بعض العلماء قال هو مبني على الفتح ويستثنى من ذلك مسألتان. He says مبني على الفتح, but we take out of the general ruling two issues. قال إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة بني على الضم. So هو مبني على الفتح أبدا إلا إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة أو اتصل به ضمير الرفع المتحرك. You get it? This one is much easier. الماضي مبني على الفتح إلا في مسألتان. ماضي فعل ماضي is always مبني على الفتح. The last part of it has to be مفتوح. It has to be مفتوح except in two situations. فعل ماضي is always مفتوح except in how many situations? Two situations. The first situation is what? When it is connected with waw al-jama'ah. The second situation is when it is connected with ضمير al-fa'il al-mutaharrik. The ضمير of fa'il al-mutaharrik. Mutaharrik means the one that has sign, not sakin. No. Is that clear? So مبني على الفتح إلا إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة فيبنى على الضم. Muhammad, this one I think should be written in. الماضي مبني على الفتح دائما. الماضي مبني على الفتح دائما. الماضي مبني على الفتح دائما إلا في مسألتين. مبني على الفتح دائما إلا في مسألتين. الأولى this one. إذا اتصلت به إذا اتصلت Muhammad, this is not how we write it. Just alif and then ta. اتصلت alif and ta, no lam. Okay. إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة. Muhammad, write واو الجماعة. واو الجماعة. إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة فيبنى على الضم. Okay. Number 2. إذا اتصل به ضمير الرفع المتحرك فيبنى على السكون. فيبنى على السكون. So that should be the last thing we should study here, inshallah. I have doubt whether it is going in or it's not going in, so we stop here. So we have how many approaches when it comes to Bina'ul al-Madi al-Fath? Two, right. One approach says it is Mabni al-Fath da'iman. When we come to the Taqdeer or I'rab, what do you call Daraba, we say what? Daraba, I'rab Darabtu or Darabu, we say what? ضرب فعل ماض مبني على فعل ماض مبني على فتح مقدر على آخره مبني على فتح مقدر على آخره منع من ظهوره إيش اشتغال المحل بحركة المناسبة أو بالمناسبة. So we still accept the statement of the Sheikh, we say it remains like that. So the fatha is still there in the first approach, but it is hidden. We don't see it properly. You get the idea? We don't see it with our own eyes. And the reason why we couldn't see it because we are busy replacing it with a sign that is more appropriate to go with wow. That is more appropriate to go with ta'ul fa'il or dhamirul fa'il al-mutaharrik. You get the idea? He says the first approach, the scholars, they say, no, we say it is just like the way the Mu'allif said, يبنى على الفتح دائما. So we say فعل ماض مبني على الفتح المقدر على آخره منع من ظهوره. The reason why منع من ظهوره means the reason why it doesn't show, it doesn't appear, it is because the last part of the word is busy with the replacement of that fatha to something that fit the visitor. Which one is the visitor? The wawul jama'a, the ta'u التي هي ضمير الرفع المتحرك. Originally the word daraba doesn't come with any connection, right? This is the root of the word. It is just like that daraba, three letters, dad, ra, ba, ba, ra, ba. Yadribu, ya is additional letter. It is not part of the word originally. Idrib, the first letter that you have, id, that's E. It is not part of it. Darabu, darabna, yadribna, tadribu. All of these things, they are not part of the word. They are additional and some connection to show some other meaning, to take it from the original meaning to another meaning. Is that clear? So that's it. So this is the first approach. It says we just say that yes, it is like that, but the fatha is there, but it is hidden. We couldn't see it because of the place being busy with the connection, which is either waw or damir al-raf al-mutaharrik. Damir al-raf'i al-mutaharrik, this is damir al-fa'il. The damir that shows and indicates fa'il. I mean the speaker, the first person, the one who is speaking. You talk about yourself, you put damir. I want to say to you, darabtu Muhammad. How should I mention? Daraba Ibrahim Muhammad. I don't want to put my name. So I remove my name, I put ta to represent me. This ta, this is what is called, because when I say daraba Ibrahimu, it goes with mu, marfu, right? Because Ibrahim is fa'il. Daraba Karimu, daraba Shamsuddin. So the Shamsu ad-Din is fa'il. That's why it is marfu. You get the idea? So I bring something which I call damir to replace the fa'il. So I give the damir also that nature. I call it damiru ar-raf'i mutaharrik. Damir that comes to represent something that is marfu'. You understand? And this damir is mutaharrik because I have another damir that is sakin, which is representing something else. So damir al-fa'il is coming like that, mutaharrik. When إذا حركت التاء, it will represent something else. So when I want to represent myself, I'm the one who is speaking, I will say darabtu, qataltu, fa'altu, tashajartu, something like that. Is that clear? Is that clear? So this is the first approach. So they said it is maftu, but we couldn't have the fatha because the last part of the word is busy with the connection to look for something else which is more appropriate than the fatha. It was supposed to be fatha, but if we keep fatha, it will be darabaw. Arabs didn't say like this, so it's just too strong on the tongue. So they're looking for something which is much easier for the tongue to be pronouncing it. Is that clear? The second approach, which is the easiest one, it says al-madi mabniun ala al-fathi da'iman, like what Sahib Ajr Rumiyah said, and like what Sahib Mulhatul Arab said. He says وَحُكْمُهُ فَتْحُ الْأَخِيرِ مِنْهُ كَقَوْلِهِمْ سَارَ وَبَانَ عَنْهُ. And Sahib al-Ajrumiyah says فَالْمَاضِي مَفْتُوحُ الْآخِرِ دَائِمًا. Madi has to be maftuh forever. You get the idea? So he said, we say like this, but we take the general statement of the scholars into consideration that every general ruling has exception. Every Muslim must pray except those who cannot pray. They have excuse, Islamic excuse, right? Everyone has to go to Hajj except somebody who cannot afford it. Everyone has to fast except somebody who cannot do the fasting. This is the application in Islam. So he said we have to put into consideration also this. We keep the general ruling in the way it is. We say al-madi maftuhul akhiri da'iman illa fi mas'alatayn. Madi maftuhul akhir da'iman, it is always maftuh except in two situations. That's much easier to be remembered, right? It's only two situations. The first situation is if that madi is connected with wawul jama'ah. That's إذا اتصلت به واو الجماعة. When you attach to it واو الجماعة, ضربوا, كتبوا, قتلوا, تشاجروا, جلسوا. When you attached and connected it with واو الجماعة, then it takes something else. فيبنى على الضم. So here you build it upon dhamma. So dhamma is going to become part of the bina or kalima, part of the word. You understand? So it is always like that. So the Arab, they never change it to be something else except if you connect it with wawul jama'ah or you connect it with ta'u damir al-raf'i al-mutaharrik. Damir al-raf'i al-mutaharrik. Any damir, not only ta, any damir for raf. Darabna, qatalna. You get the idea. Any damir which is representing the what do you call something that is marfu, which is fa'il. Al-mutaharrik, the one that has haraka, not sukun, fayubna ala sukun. So in this case, the fi'l madi is going to be based on sukun. Darabtu. You see the ba is the last part of the word, right? And you make it what? Sukun instead of fatha. Do you get the idea? So I'll repeat this last one and then I close the class inshallah. قال الماضي مبني على الفتح دائما إلا في مسألتين. So we always say that ماضي is مبني على الفتح, and we always make it مبني على الفتح إلا في مسألتين, except in two places, two situations. The first situation is when the ماضي is connected with ضمير واو الجماعة. The second situation is when the ماضي is connected with ضمير الرفع المتحرك. This is like what? ضربت, فعلت. Then we make it مبني على إيش؟ على السكون. Is that clear? So that should be the lesson today, inshallah. I will not go more خوفا من أن تنسوا. So today's lesson we talk about the types of fi'l. How many we have? We have three. فعل ماضي, we have مضارع, and we have المستقبل, right? And we say that the reason why the Arabs, they classified them into three groups, it is because fi'l is addressing zaman, and we have only how many zaman? Three zaman. We have three azman, thalathatu azman, and these zaman, they are replacing three words. What are they? Ams, al-an, al-gadan. And I give you the line of poetry. What is it? $100,000 minus $200,000 if you say it without looking at your book. But remember, minus how many? $200,000, right? So you have to pay if you say. So nobody will answer, right? What does it say? وَأَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْيَوْمِ وَالْأَمْسِ قَبْلَهُ. What happened to the Arabs?
ولكنني عن علم ما في غد عمي.
Okay. Fadil, do we have people from Arab countries studying in this class? Yes, right. Oh, you don't know. Even from the name, you never. Last time you don't see the people from Sudan and. I think the Arab already finished, huh? Fateh, agree? The reason why I say this because long ago, because this is a language, it's supposed to be like that. If you come to speak to people in their own language, they don't forget. An Arab woman, she will bring her child and recite 100 lines of poetry to him and then ask him to repeat them. He will repeat them immediately. Once, she will just read once and then ask him, okay son, say them again. He will say them again. They don't go and take books. They don't even know how to write actually. They just listen to qasida only once. This is 1,000 lines of poetry, and you will tell the man, he said this, he will tell you, no, he never said this in his poetry. They don't write it down because only few among them. So what happened to this kind of memorization? It is gone, huh? May Allah bring it back, inshallah. How do we train ourselves to become like this? I wish each and every one of you to will pay attention. How do I train myself to be a very excellent person in terms of capturing what is said by somebody? Video cameras, what is the other one? The phones, MP3, MP5, they have 6, 10, 11. Is that the best way to remember or to write it down? No. Writing is good to take note, but this should be temporary. Otherwise, you're going to have another additional dictionary in your house. This is what our notes always are. When somebody asks you, what do? Open your book to check, is it said yesterday? And tomorrow also, if he's to ask you, you have to go back to the book. So your book becomes your dictionary. That's why we don't learn. And listen to this, if you want to succeed in memorization and learning, your dependence on the notes should be temporary. A very short moment. I don't say erase what you write inside, but close it. Don't refer to it always. Try when you get it, go back. This is what they do. Those scholars, they go back to the house, they memorize it, and then they keep it. Not going back to it. Already finished, they put it in the chest. But we don't do this. We always refer to it at every moment. So I will inform you about something that you already know. The more you use your brain, the more it becomes sharp to grasp and to memorize and to keep something. And the more you don't use it, you depend on other tools, the more weak it becomes. And you will never succeed in memorization. That's why the people living in the cities, they are the weakest people in terms of memorization. In the village, they were not like that. Up to this moment, the village people, they have very sharp and good memory. But the only difference between us and them is we have some wise, how do I say, we use things wisely, they don't have this. But in terms of keeping things, they memorize better than us. The reason why they were like that, it is because a person from the village, he does not even need how to read, he does not even know how to write or how to read it. If you give him a phone, he doesn't know how to use it sometimes. What is that? So they always use their brain, that's why it takes it. So you also, this is my advice to you, always use your brain. It will be very sharp and it will be very strong. They mentioned one of the scholars, he went to Hajj and his students gave him money to buy for them a dictionary. This is Qamus al-Muhit, it's just like that, a book like this. So you can see how big is the book, and this is dictionary. It's one of the most difficult things to be memorized, dealing with the words and their meaning. So when they gave him the money, unfortunately his money finished, so he take the money of the student. It's so embarrassing when he comes back and there is no money, there is no book. So they want Qamus al-Muhit. So when he came back, there is no money. So before he came back, he went to one of the libraries in Mecca. He took Qamus al-Muhit, he memorized it before he came to them. This is Hajj period then. He finished memorizing the whole book. He came back to them. When they told him, Ya Sheikh, where is the Qamus al-Muhit? Where is the Qamus al-Muhit? He told them, bring your book, your notebook and your pens. He dictated the Qamus al-Muhit from A to Z to them. What kind of brain is that? I'm telling you, he's just like you, but the difference is they use their brain and we don't use it. We depend on technology so much. So please, let's in this class test ourselves, try and reduce it. Inshallah, it will work. By training yourself, every day go and read, go and read, go and read, go and read. You get the idea? And inshallah, you will reach a situation whereby you can complete a book once. If a person reads something, he is reading to you, and he made a mistake or he put something in another place which it shouldn't be. You would tell him it was a mistake. You get the idea? That's when you read a lot, you don't depend so much on the scriptures you're writing. Is that clear? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us, inshallah. So I will stop here, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. If you have any question, come up. If not, then I take 10 minutes to address Tawheed, inshallah, Tajweed, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Wallahu alam. Please, I have a request. We plan that this class is going to have attendance, and we will be very harsh. But I know myself, I cannot be harsh. Yeah, so, and unfortunately also the one who is supposed to represent me is Fadil, and it looks like Fadil also is the same thing. So we don't want to be harsh. Who is the harshest? Fateh? Oh yeah, okay, I forgot him. Okay, we will write Muhammad inshallah to take action. 1 second coming late to the class, khalas, no. 10 meters you cannot approach our class. Right, Muhammad? Can bring some securities to. But what I was intending to say is, please, if it is not necessary, don't skip our class. That's a humble request. If it is not necessary, don't skip our class. It's good to begin with people and end with them. And there are some people amongst you that, inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, Fadil, just keep it in your mind, we must have a time to reward them. I think they started with us since we begin our job to teach in this university. So may Allah SWT reward them and keep them upright. But it is my strong message that classes, especially Islamic classes, when you want to succeed in this, missing a class doesn't work here. Don't do it. You see, we are matured enough. You don't need somebody to come and tell you you have to. So please, if it is not really necessary, and to me, the only thing that will contradict classes like this, it is something which I cannot avoid it at all. Courses that are organized by people or lectures, I'm telling you, they don't have, to me, 1% of this class. Because these are the classes that you're supposed to be getting the usul and the principle to become like the person who is speaking in the conferences or places like that. Any course that is going to be arranged to be in few days, to me, don't do. I make myself work. Whatever contradict this class, I cancel it. I want to establish something. So please, you guys, you are the support of the class. If you don't, motivate us, we cannot do it properly. So please, the attendance is needed. Because when you skip a class and then you come after a few days, you pass a lot of things, you understand, you are missing a lot. To make the connection is not easy. So we love good for you, and we will keep on bringing good, inshallah, from you, and we will keep our mission, which is to make you a reliable person in the future. But for us to make it properly, you need to be present in the class every time and be patient, inshallah. Remember this. If you wish, write it down. You will remember this statement that I'm saying, and you will appreciate it in the future if you are patient. When we are learning, we don't do this thing. We were in the class every time. We used to come to the class before the mudarris actually. And those salaf, they were like that. One of them said, I went to a place, and then it happens I get into the masjid before Fajr. And then I saw one of the circles of one of the halaqat, like this, of one of the scholars, the dars is before Fajr. Nowadays, even after Zuhr also cannot. In those days, what if we say come after Fajr? Of course, those people, they come before Fajr to the lesson. And they're always there. So please do attend, unless if it is necessary. We cannot say you have to come even if you cannot come. No, we can't do that. But we just leave you with your consciousness. This is more benefit for you, inshallah, in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than anything else. Any question? Father, what time is Asr? 15 minutes to 4:15 or 4? 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, what do we do about Tajweed? What was the last thing we did? Nun Sakina, right? Okay. Last time we talked about isti'adha, right? And we talk about basmala, right? And the ahkam of each and every one of them when you begin with it, right? So how many hukum we have for isti'adha when you are beginning the recitation? How many hukum we have? What is that? All or four? Oh, four. I heard all. Okay. Four ahkam, right? Number one, qat' al-jami'. What does that mean? You just break each and every one of them, right? Number two, awal, wasl al-thani, bithalis. Like what? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Then you stop, right? And then wasl al-awwal bit-thani. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Next. وصل الأول بالثاني أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقطع الأخير, right? الحمد لله رب العالمين. The last one, وصل الجميع. Then you combine all of them. How about when I begin with بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم? No, when I end a surah and I want to begin the new surah, how do I recite بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم? How many situations I have? 3 also, right? It's not 4? Okay, only 3. Which one is wrong? Which one is the wrong one? When I connect the last part of a surah and I stop, right, with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, like what? Min al-Jinnati wal-Nasi Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then I stop. Then I say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Is that correct? No. Why is it wrong? Why is it wrong? Because somebody will think Bismillah is the last part of the surah, inshallah. So last week we promised to talk about Nun as-Sakina, right? How many hukum we have for Nun as-Sakina and Tanween? 4. What is Nun as-Sakina? Nun that has sukun, right? What is Tanween? Nun as-Sakina, right? That we pronounce it but we don't see it in writing, right? It only comes in terms of pronunciation. How many hukum we have for these 2? 4. The first one is second, third, fourth, ikhfa. Let us begin with izhar. Al-izhar. What is izhar? Lugatan, when you say izhar, is al-bayan. أظهرت الشيء أي بينته. أظهرت الشيء أي بينته. When you say أظهرت الشيء أي بينته means I expose it, I open it. So when you open and expose something, you are doing izhar. واصطلاحا هو إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه من غير جنة في الحرف المظهر. واصطلاحا إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه من غير غنة في الحرف المظهر. إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه من غير غنة في الحرف المظهر is to pronounce and to utter every letter, you understand, from the letters of izhar, of course, every letter min makhrajihi, from its own exit, Because the makhraj is the exit. We will talk about the makhraj of huruf later, inshallah. To pronounce every letter from its own proper exit, the makhraj, min ghayri gunnatin, without gunna. This is the key. Gunna means that sound that looks like noon. When I say min, that's this is gunna. What's the place of gunna? Is the nose, al-khayshum, right? When you pronounce the gunna, when it doesn't come from that place, it is wrong. If I said mayyaman, that's not gunna. We will talk about this inshallah, because this is the mistake that people are doing. Min wara'ihim. It's not gunna. It has to come from the khayshum. Then it is gunna. Min makhrajihi fil harf al-mudhhar. In the harf that you're doing idhar. And idhar has how many letters? 6. We have hamza, we have ha, we have ayn, we have ha, we have ghayn, we have kha. I put them according to their level. This is the throat. The throat. You divide it into 3 parts. Here you put hamza and ha. Here you put ayn and ha. Here you put kha and ghayn. It is not to say whenever you read Quran you have to put your hand here, going up and down. No, but you just learn how to do it. Make sure that when you pronounce kha, it comes from this place. This is the exit of kha. This is the exit of ghayn. This is the exit of ayn. This is the exit of ha. This is the exit of hamza. And this ha. These are the easiest letter in Arabic language. Everyone knows how to do them. If you do takalluf, you exaggerate, you will make wrong in it. Just become in the way Allah SWT created you, then you pronounce it properly. The newborn baby, when you ask him, he knows how to pronounce this. How do you pronounce it? Just alif. Yours, when you are suffering from pain, what do you say? They said this is the reason why they said a brother is better than anyone. So you have children, you have everyone. Who is the best person in terms of supporting you in life? They say your brother, because even if you are sick or you are in trouble, what do you say? It's like Wallah, this is explanation given by them. So this is to pronounce every letter from its own proper exit without pronouncing gunna. They put them in a line of poetry so that it should be memorized properly. Imam Shatibi says, Ala haja, ala haja, ala haja hukman, amma, على حاجة حكما عما خاليه غفلا وعند حروف الحلق للكل أظهر على حاجة حكما عما خاليه غفلا. He says وعند حروف الحلق للكل أظهر على حاجة حكما عما خاليه غفلا. He said when it comes to the huruf al-halq, these are the huruf al-halq. This is the halq, the throat, they call it halq. He says وعند حروف الحلق, these are the letters of halq. حروف الحلق للكل أظهر. Every scholar is making izhar when they are preceded with nun sakina or tanween. وعند حروف الحلق للكل أظهر على هاج حكما عم خاليه غفلا. على, the first letter. هاج, second. حكما عم خاليه غفلا. They usually bring this so that it will be easy for you to memorize. The normal one that we know, how do you say it? أخي حاك حكما. أخي حاك علما. أخي حاك علما حازه غير خاسر. If you don't memorize the Shatibiyah, memorize this one. أخي هاك علما حازه غير خاسر. Hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. How many letters? 6. You get it? So whenever you have noon as-sakina or tanween, you understand? Noon, if one of these letters, please do understand, because normally when we read, we are making a lot of mistakes here. Yeah, one of these letters, when it comes right after noon or tanween, it is supposed to be mudhar, izhar. Izhar means bayan. To bayan, you do izhar to what? Noon sakina or this? في الحرف المظهر, حرف المظهر, I'm sorry, when we say it is one of the huruf, it's wrong. Is حرف المظهر is this. When I say izhar, izhar ايش? النون الساكنة. When I have noon sakina and the harf that comes right after noon sakina or tanween is one of these letters, noon sakina must be mudhara. It has to be, the hukum is what? Idhar. The hukum is idhar. So if I have something like this, how do you say it? Man amana. Listen to my recitation. You see, I said man. Did you hear noon? Okay, I say it again. Maybe it doesn't come. Should I shout? Man. Did you hear noon? Yeah. Man. Did I make gunna? No gunna at all. Man amana. Man amana. Noon has to. When I say man amana, is that izhar? No, because I have some part of fatha in it. You get it? This is what we usually hear from the student when they're reciting Quran. Sometimes they mess up this. They pronounce some part of noon. So they said it has to be completely pronounced. It has to stay away from gunna when it comes before one of these letters. You have من حاجك. How do you pronounce it? من حاجك. فمن حاجك. فما له من هاد. من هاد. من هاد. So you have فأما من خاف مقام ربه. فأما من خاف مقام من خاف مقام ربه. You don't go من خاف مقام ربه. من خاف مقام ربه. It has to be فأما من خاف من خاف. You don't say من خاف مقام ربه. It has to be من خاف مقام ربه. من غيرهم. من غيرهم. من غيرهم. من عين. من عين. من حاد. من آمن. من حاد. Get an idea? Yeah. So for those of you who are doing the Quran online, please, when you read, try observe this. That's the reason why actually we have it, because here we will never have opportunity to listen to anyone. But there, when you read, pay attention to what you're reading. Try to apply all of these things in it. We're going to be contacting how to see the progress. Last time, I think the class only 3 sisters attended, unfortunately. But it was our mistake because we announced very late. So please, Monday is going to take place tomorrow, right? At 5. So those of you who register, please try go to the class. At 5 every Thursday and Monday, 5 to 7. It will be very interesting, inshallah, for you to finish the Quran in this mission of ours. So the first hukum is izhar. The first hukum that is connected to Nun Sakina and Tanween is what? Izhar. What is izhar according to the language? Al-bayan. What is bayan? To explain something, to expose something, to open something, to pronounce something openly. إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه من غير جنة في الحرف المظهر. You pronounce every harf from its own proper exit, you understand, without making any gunna in the harf that you're making izhar in it, which is noon or tanween. Tanween also is noon sakina, so basically, which is the noon sakina. And noon sakina and izhar has how many letters? 6 letters. We have 28 letters, so we took out 6, so 22 left, right? Right? 22, right? So we take kha and ghain. How do you pronounce them? Kha. Kha. It's not kha. It's kha and ghain. These are the huruf al-isti'la. We will talk about them in the future, inshallah. Kha, it has to be big always. Ghain has to be big always. Gha. So if you pronounce it properly, it will come from here. The last part which is connected to the tongue. So you have kha, you have ghain, you have ayn, that's in the middle. Ah. And you don't exaggerate. Some people, it's like they're going to vomit. So let him just finish. I make conclusion, then you go, inshallah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Noon sakina, as I was saying, it has 4 ahkam. Number 1 is idhar, idgham, iqlab, ikhfa. So the first thing we did is izhar. Izhar in the language is al-bayan. Bayan means to expose something, to openly mention something. That's al-bayan. This is the linguistic meaning, but according to the technical meaning, the scholars of Tajweed, istilahan, when they say izhar, they're talking about إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه من غير غنة في الحرف المظهر. To utter and to pronounce any letter from its own proper exit without making a gunna to the harf that you're making izhar in it. Izhar means to expose it. So when I say izhar for noon sakina, means to expose the sukoon of noon sakina, to make it really, really sukoon bahat. Man. So that we have to hear it. When you make it fatha or half of, some part of the fatha, it is not izhar anymore. You get the idea? It will take another meaning. And it has 6 letters. 6 letters. And these 6 letters, you can find them in the word, in the bayt of Imam al-Shatibi that says, وَإِنَّ حُرُوفِ الْحَلْقِ لِلْكُلِّ أُظْهِرَ أَلَا هَاجَ حُكْمًا عَمَّ خَالِهِ غُفَّلًا. Ala, the first letter, haja, hukman, amma, khalihi, guffala. Any word, you take the first letter in it. Or you take the no, the one that says, أَخِي هَاكَ عِلْمًا حَازَهُ غَيْرُ خَاسِرٍ. Or you take the one that we're going to mention, inshallah, next week. But these are the letters of al-halq. You get the idea. So what does that mean? It means whenever you see noon sakina and then one of them comes right after noon sakina, the noon sakina has to take the hukum of ikhfa. True or false? False, right? Has to take which hukum? Idhar. Idhar means to expose the noon sakina. Like man amana. Man amana. Man amana means we have to hear. You don't need to stress on it and focus on it and stay and wait and make some pause on it. But it just pronounces, we need to hear the school. You get it? We want to hear the school. So man amana. Inshallah next week, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wish, and you guys comes, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I will give some other examples. And then I will ask you also to bring examples for that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Before you go, where is my assignment? Is it done? Okay, I was thinking of you guys. Had you gave me first, we will start with it. We read it first, and then we take the next lesson. You just keep it in front. Inshallah, I will take it. Inshallah. Thank you very much. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.